Hey guys, it's me, Hellhound, or people prefer to call me Horror Metal. It's the name of my channel, but some people refer to me by that name, so I don't mind. Either way, um, I recently watched the trailer for the upcoming Chucky movie, Cult of Chucky, which is going to be released in October later this year. And I've been wanting to share my thoughts on it with you guys. I was going to just casually mention it, like at the end of one of my videos, but I feel like it deserves its own video. It deserves its own episode of my show. So, um, first, a little background. As you know, I'm a huge Chucky fan. The Child's Play franchise is probably my fifth favorite horror franchise, next to Friday the 13th, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And the thing about the Child's Play movies are, I don't think that there's really a terrible entry. Like, we don't really have a Jason X or a Halloween Resurrection or a Texas Chainsaw Massacre The Next Generation or Freddy's Dead, and it hasn't been remade yet either, which is great. Now, I think most people agree that Child's Play 3 and Seed of Chucky are the weaker entries, and I agree. I do have my problems with those movies. Child's Play 3 was a little too rushed so soon after Child's Play 2. It was a cool setting, though, at the military camp, and then the finale at the amusement park. That was pretty neat. Chucky had some great lines in that one as well. Seed of Chucky, there was things that didn't make sense. I know it's like mostly a comedy too. That's what most people have a problem with. It was a straight up comedy. I don't really mind that. I think it was it made sense. It was a logical thing to do after Bride of Chucky. Now some things didn't make sense, like Chucky, fathering two human children, who weren't part doll. I mean, they have his red hair, but they weren't part doll. It's like, okay, if he fathers a child with another doll, it's going to be all doll. But if he fathers it with another human, it's going to be human, and it just didn't make sense. I know I'm reading too much into it, and plus, like, who really cares, right? There were a few things in the movie that didn't really add up, didn't make sense. I didn't really care that it was a comedy. I thought there was some dark moments, but yeah, it probably should have been like a little more horror oriented, but they made up for that with Curse of Chucky, which was the next film, the sixth film in the series, which I loved. It blew me away. I loved how they should flash back to Charles Lee Ray when he was human, played by Brad Dourif. I loved how his daughter Fiona Dourif plays Nika, the main character. I liked her a lot. I love how Andy Barkley, played by Alex Vincent, who played him in the first two movies, shows up at the end, as does Tiffany, played by Jennifer Tilly. She transferred her soul into Jennifer Tilly, the actress, kind of a meta thing going on in Seed of Chucky. So I'm guessing, like, in Curse of Chucky in this movie, I'm guessing, she's just in Jennifer Tilly's body, and like everybody just thinks she's Jennifer Tilly. Nobody knows that she's actually inhabited by the soul of Tiffany. At least I can assume. I mean, that, logically, because they're not ignoring Seed of Chucky like a lot of people thought. They're really not. So yeah, I was very pleased with Curse of Chucky. And as I said, there's not really a terrible entry. Child's Play 3 and Seed of Chucky, as I said, are flawed, but I still like them. I don't think that they're bad. I think there's more good than bad there. I do think Child's Play 1 and 2, Bride of Chucky, and Curse are definitely the best. And this upcoming movie, Cult of Chucky, from the trailer, it looks really good. I think I'm really going to like it. If you haven't seen the trailer yet, check it out. Now, I heard rumors that it was going to take place on a train. Like, the movie's going to be Chucky killing people on a train. I kind of like that, Chucky on a train. That's kind of interesting. It's kind of neat. And I don't know if they're going that route yet. It looks like the whole thing is going to take place in the asylum where Nika is currently held, and, like, she believes that she just imagined Chucky, and she's the one who killed all her friends and family and stuff. So yeah, it's mainly going to be in the asylum. I don't know if there's going to be a part of the train or not. It didn't look like it from the trailer. I think there's only one trailer that I know of, and that's the one I watched. If there's another one, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I've only seen the one main trailer, the one that's like a minute and 40 seconds long. Chucky looks great. I think the design of the doll looks way better than it did in Curse of Chucky. That doll kind of looked all wrong to me in the face. He had too many different looks. At one point, he looked like almost Asian. Then one point, he looked like a woman, like a girl doll. He had way too many different appearances, and I think they did that way better. That was an improvement. Brad Dourif's voice is still great as ever. He is Chucky. I mean, he's just so awesome. He says. The one line that I remember from the trailer, he said something like, "People think I'm sick," and he says something. Only Brad can deliver those lines. I mean, nobody else can do Chucky the way he can. It looks great. Nika's returning, played by Fiona Dourif, Brad Dourif's real life daughter. Tiffany's going to be in it, played by Jennifer Tilly. Andy Barkley's going to be in it, played once again by Alex Vincent. It looks like he has a much bigger part. He's had a cameo at the end of Curse of Chucky, like after the credits. So if you haven't seen that movie, sorry if I spoiled it, but I assume you probably have by now if you're watching this video. It would be cool to see him again. There'll probably be several references to the other movies too. Yeah, it looks great. I think it'll be pleasant. I'm gonna be very pleased. Not really big on the title "Cult of Chucky." I mean, cult. I mean, what does he have, like, some followers now? The people that worship him. I mean, I don't know. What is this, Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers? I mean, I don't know, but maybe there's a good reason for it. Plus, it's kind of too similar to Curse. She has the same first two letters. I kind of would rather like just Revenge of Chucky, since they have kind of generic titles anyway. Bride, Seed. Seed of Chucky was the original Son of Chucky, so um, I would have been, I would have preferred, like, yeah, as I said, Revenge of Chucky or something. But I don't know. I guess I wanted to do something different. Cult of Chucky, kind of unique. So I'm not bothered about that. Just a minor, very minor complaint. It's not going to affect my enjoyment of the movie. Yeah, it looked great. There are some things, it kind of did look like a typical modern horror movie with, a woman saying, he's coming for you. Chucky told me, like things that, like, feel like, a typical modern horror movie that you go and see in the theater or rent or whatever, from our Netflix or whatever, and like this threw Chucky in there, but like there was only a couple moments in the trailer I felt like that, and I know it'll still be good because Curse of Chucky did that. It felt kind of like a more modern, generic horror movie, but Chucky was in there, and it was scary, and it was well casted, very well written, very well acted. Don Mancini, he directed Seed and Curse, and he's back directing this one, I'm pretty sure, and he was always the writer. He wrote all the Chucky movies. Chucky's his brainchild. It's his baby. He can do no wrong. As long as he's in charge, I trust whatever he's doing will be the right choice. As I said, I love Seed and Chucky and Child's Play 3. So, I was very, very pleased with the trailer. I think it's going to be really good. I don't know if it'll be as good as Curse of Chucky, but I'm sure it'll be great. I'm sure I'll enjoy it a lot. I'm again huge Chucky fan. I love the Child's Play franchise. Now, some things I would like to see in the movie. I'm glad that they extended Andy Barclay's role. I'm sure Tiffany's going to be in a lot. I'd like to see like at least one or two references to Glenn and Glinda, Chucky's kids, his Seed, who are now human. Which another thing I didn't care about in Seed of Chucky was Tiffany didn't seem to care that those babies that Jennifer Tilly had with Chucky's sperm, like, wouldn't their souls have died once they transferred Glenn and Glinda's souls into those bodies? I mean, she didn't really seem to care about that, but I don't know. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. Maybe there's more to it because that was all like off screen. They didn't explain it very well. But anyway, I'd like to have a reference to their whereabouts. I wouldn't want them to be, the whole movie to be about them. They're not even dolls anymore, so we don't need a whole family of killer dolls. As cool as I thought that was in Seed of Chucky, it made it kind of unique. I mean, Jason never had a wife and kids or anything. I thought it was kind of, different. It's cool Chucky had his own family. Like just, like maybe a casual reference to them. Maybe even show them briefly. They'd be like all grown up now. I mean, I guess they'd be like at least teenagers by now, right? Or maybe even older than that. No, I think teenagers. Reference to that. I also like to see maybe even more flashbacks to Charles Lee Ray when he was human and like when he was dating Tiffany, like before he was shot and killed and transferred his body to a good guy doll. That'd be cool if like see Charles Lee Ray and Tiffany together in a flashback. How awesome would that be? I'd also like an explanation as to what happened after Seed of Chucky, after his son hacked him to bits. I know it ended in the cliffhanger when his arm strangled Glenn. I'd like to see what happened after. Obviously, him and Tiffany got back together because she's helping him now. She's taking him to his victims and stuff, mailing him everywhere. Obviously, they got back together. I mean, they fight all the time and they get back together anyway, so, that's to be expected. I'd like to have kind of explain that a little bit. Also, explain, is she in Jennifer Tilly's body? I mean, she must be, right? Also, some flashbacks, maybe showing how he was involved with Eddie Caputo. The first Child's Play movie never really made that clear to me. I mean, he was a serial killer. Eddie Caputo was his partner somehow, and his getaway driver. How did that work exactly? What, did Eddie just take him to certain scenes of his crimes? He would just drop him off and say, okay, have fun killing people. I'll be back to pick you up. But how did that work exactly? I'd like to see that kind of explained. So it'd be cool to see him in a flashback, too. I'm always welcome to seeing more of Charles Lee Ray as a human, because I think that was really interesting, and they did that well in Curse of Chucky. They just put a makeup on him, put a wig on him, make him look like he was, look like he did like 25 years ago. So I was all about that. So those are some things I'd like to see. Any references to the past films are welcome. Any references to Mike Norris, played by Chris Sarandon for the first film, are good. Or, Karen Barkley, played by Catherine Hicks from the first movie. Or Kyle, Christina Lee's, his foster sister from the second movie. Any references like that would be welcome. There's a lot of those in Curse of Chucky. It was definitely made for the fans. It's funny because before I saw Curse of Chucky, I thought I was going to be disappointed in it. It was direct-to-video. I thought it was ignoring Bride and Seed, but it turned out it was exactly what I wanted. It delivered, and then some. I was blown away. I think this movie will do the same. It looks very good. I'm very pleased with what I see. Let's see. Are there any more things I'd like to see? You know, I think the more Chucky, the better. He was kept in shadows. You didn't see much of him in Curse of Chucky. He didn't have many lines. I feel like the cat's already in the bag. Everybody knows Chucky's alive. You know, it can't really be that scary anymore. I'm glad that they went back to their roots. I'm glad they made a scary movie. And this one will be scary too, but I kind of want to see a little more of Chucky. And also, it looks like he doesn't have his stitches anymore this time. So yeah, hopefully they'll explain that. Because Curse of Chucky, they didn't explain like where he came from. He didn't have a resurrection scene like he did in all the other movies. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just found another good guy doll, transferred his soul into that, like somebody Oracle on eBay or something. I don't know. It'd be easy to do an explanation. Also, Curse of Chucky suffered from like too many different endings. We had him trying to transfer his soul into the little girl, Nika's niece. Then the grandma came with a bag over her head. Then we had the scene with Tiffany, the scene with Andy. I'll be right out. And like, there's too many endings. I hope they kind of explain all those. But yeah, I think it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. Check out the trailer if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think of Cult of Chucky in the comments. Looking forward to seeing it, and I'll let you guys what I think. You'll be the first to know what I think of Cult of Chucky. All right, I'm Hellhound. Later.